guys, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. So for this video, we're going to be going over everything coming out this week on Legends, including but not limited to a new Ultra Space Time Rush. What? That's crazy, right? We have new co-op, we have a new equip, we have a couple new banners, also the Zenkai Awakening for Purple Vegeta. So you're not going to want to miss this video. Be sure to listen through it. If you guys aren't new to the channel, I'd love to have you stick around for more content. Be sure to consider hitting that thumbs up and subscribe, sticking around for more content on the channel if you guys enjoy Dragon Ball Legends. So speaking of which, on Legends this week, like I said, we do have a new Space Time Rush Champions Edition dropping on the game. So this feels like it's long overdue, by the way. We've needed a revamp or more just Space Time Rush content. Now, Space Time Rush in and of itself isn't, in my opinion, the most fun content, but maybe if they add different bosses and stuff, it'll be interesting to see. So we can see the rewards for the Space Time Rush now on Legends Space. So we do have 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 CCs, a bunch of stuff here as well, an eraser and all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. If you get the full 6,000 points, you get all the rewards on the screen, and that's cool to see, man. You just love more content, more ways to get CC for the free-to-play player base. So moving on from that, this is interesting. It looks like there's only one rush. I'm not so sure how to depict this on the site, but it does say Rush 1. I don't know what else that means, but there's 30 levels to this. Like, I was already kind of looking at this. There's 30 levels to this, and we have stupid stuff like this, though. Like, this is not fun. This is not fun. No, this is not okay. No, what is that? Freaking 7 million HP on this Vegito? Like, why? Like, what is this? Like, no. And the boost characters are these dudes. This is going to be actually hell. This fight's going to be really difficult. So moving on, though, we have all the way up to the last boss here, which is going to be this future Saga trio. And there's 30 fights, so it's a lot of fights, man. A lot of fights in this rush. So I guess it'll be interesting content. I don't know if honestly, I don't know if this is even, like, for me personally, because I spend money on the game. I'd like to get the free rewards, but I don't know, like, if this is even worth my hassle. If it's going to be, like, stuff like this. I forgot this was a thing. I was hyped for a second. And on the topic of them going out of their way to make stuff, like, kind of just a little bit unfun, I'm not complaining about the Space Time Rush. Like, again, it's cool to see more content, and for the people that are going to do it in its entirety and all that stuff, more power to you, right? That's just, I'm happy to see that in some way, right? But co-op is a different thing. Why in co-op do they go out of their way to put the most annoying bosses? I get it, they're trying to make it difficult, but they put dudes that give you like a trillion debuffs and this and that. Like Cell, I think he's ending right now, obviously being replaced by a cooler. Like Cell was so unfun to play against. Like, again, I get it. It's just like, some of the bosses are not bad, but the ones that are like, Metacooler is going to be more of the same, that are just like a trillion debuffs are just, for me, it's not super fun. Now, this is interesting. So, Legends Limited Step Up banner. On the surface, really good for new players because they don't have access. They haven't had access to these units. If they just joined the game during their anniversary, they don't have access to basically most of these units at all, right? So this is pretty good. This is good for any player, to be honest. Like, it's good to pick up Legends Limited units, especially getting dupes in some of these dudes, even if they're not the most viable fighters anymore. But getting dupes in some of these dudes is going to be incredible. Like, some of you guys are going to be on the fringe of needing another copy of Beerus to be able to Zenkai him, for example, or needing another copy of one of the front row LFs here to get their double buffs, right? There's different pockets to where people are going to benefit from this differently. The scenario I'm in is I kind of want to pull on this because my LF Super Saiyan Goku, my Super Vegito, those dudes are on a lot of banners, so as a result, they're actually really close to 14, and I really want to kind of get that, but I also kind of don't at the same time, because I don't know if I even, this is whatever. So the way this is structured is as follows. So the first step is, you get 10 units per step, by the way. First step is 700 CC, so for the record, this is actually not bad on the surface. The fact that you're getting a multi of 10 characters for 700 CC, which is a discount, right, as opposed to 1K, always going to be good. That's pretty good. So steps 2 through 5 are the full 1K, but you actually get double on the Legends tickets. Instead of 10, you get 20. So that's also something worth mention. Step 6 is with this summon, you acquire 1 Sparking Rarity character. Step 6 is a single summon for 100 CC. And that is a guaranteed Legends Limited unit. So it's not the best step up. They're still, I get why they're overvaluing these units because they're Legends Limited. They're supposed to be the premium units of the game. They even get Legends Limited premium banners, literally. But a lot of these dudes are not even spectacular like that anymore. Half of them are still really relevant, but some of them are not super spectacular anymore. So in terms of the actual rates on the banner, we have as follows: 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 across the board for every LF. And then we have a lot of units that are either a mixed bag. Some of them are impressive or good units, and then some of them are just not so much, or waiting for Zenkais or things of that nature. Like we have Purple SSG, who's still really good. We have Purple Vegeta, who's not particularly good, SS2. We have Purple Vegeta, who's getting a Zenkai. We're going to read about him in a minute. And we have some decent EXs and stuff like that on the banner. Overall, though, I would say for the about 95% of you dudes that are watching the video, this is a skip banner. Like, at best, do the first step because it is a discount and maybe you'll get lucky. But other than that, I would say across the board, skip the banner. But if you spend any money, and if you're on the fringe like I am, where it's like, okay, maybe you can actually maximize that and make a really big turn for it, probably worth doing for you, right? Zenkai Vegeta's banner, same type of deal going on. So 1,500 is the maximum amount, just like on Trunks' banner. Fun fact, some of you guys will wind up pulling that. I got it on Trunks' banner. It was crazy, right? 0.1% chance, right? You even still get the 100 Z power or Zenkai power freebie for doing the multi as well. So that's pretty awesome to see. Now there's a new equip. We've seen this equip in several different variations thus far. It's slot 1 blast defense, strike defense slot 2, and then slot 3 is blast attack up to 10% per when you have a yellow or purple character as a battle member. It is not a stacking one where it's like, oh, per battle member or whatever. There are a lot of different types of these equips. I always mention people don't understand how these work. They work very differently from normal equips, which is why the number is a lot lower than your normal stuff that just outright says, oh, plus 20% of base strike attack, for example. They work differently. It's not a bad equip. Very good. Can only be used on blue ranged characters, though, so that is worth mention. This is the list of characters this is applicable to. On the surface, not bad on pretty much all of them. It's not a bad equip at all. Like, there are characters that use, pretty much all these use are blast units anyway because they're range type, so it's just going to fit their kit very well. And give them double defense as well at a decent / respectable clip. If you can actually get a red slot on slot 2, that's really good for the meta, right? So a couple of things I want to mention is we're going to jump into Vegeta's Zenkai territory. Now, let me know in the comments down below if you guys even want to see me do beyond 1. I'm going to do 1 just for the 1 multi, but I don't know if I even want to go further than that. Let me know if you guys want to see that, because there is actually a lot of content I can kind of squeeze out of this guy by having him Zenkai buff. A lot of purple Saiyans. There's a lot of them. They're mixed in here. You'll have to pause the video, I guess. But there's a lot of purple Saiyans in here. I can actually do a lot. So I don't know. If you guys want that, I'll do it. If not, whatever. I honestly kind of don't really care. So I did read a little bit of what he does. We're going to go ahead and do the before and after for him. By the way, here are the stats at 14. Almost 300,000 blast attack. That's insanity. If we go to 7, which is the bare minimum, this is how he looks. 259,000 blast attack, 0.9, so 260 basically. That's still really good, and the rest of the stats across the board there. So let's take a look at the main ability. Before, it did not offer the key. It now did pick up key. Draws a blast card as well, and plus 50% of blast damage. Fun fact, nothing else changed here. It's literally the exact same. It picks up key. So he does also pick up a couple more uniques in here. So here's the Cruel Invader unique, which is renamed and new. It was beforehand just Anti-Super Warrior and Sun Family. I did say in my breakdown video a couple of days ago, my prediction video, that this needed to change. It needed to add more. They did, in fact, for one, buff it up to 30% to blast damage inflicted versus Super Warrior or Sun Family cannot be canceled. That's pretty decent. I mean, Sun Family it's not super common, but even if it's like Saiyan teams where you're just versus Goku, it's not super common, but it's decent enough, I'd say. Super Warrior, I mean, they just got a bunch of new units, but, well, a few, but still not very common, obviously. So very irrelevant. Now, this next part, speaking of irrelevant, is interesting. Restores health by 20% when the character enters the battlefield if a allied Nappa is defeated 1 time. Restoring 20% for entering the battlefield is not bad at all. Defeated Nappa's hilarious because there's only one Nappa in the game that's viable, and it's the young Nappa. He's actually really good with Vegeta units as well. He's pretty good, right? But they haven't returned his event. Fun fact, he's actually a free unit that's pretty good as a strike attack and defense buffer at 6-star for Saiyans as a free unit. That's nuts, right? But they haven't dropped his event back. And it is not scheduled to return. It is not scheduled to return right now. So unless it drops soon again, and even then, you're going to be running purple, red, probably. Like, it's just not good. So I guess they need to do something with another Nappa. They need to do something, right? Or drop a new one. So other than that, that whole unique is basically pretty bad for the most part. So the unique number 2, -5 to blast arts cost once 15 counts of elapsed from the battle start. plus 30% of blast damage inflicted once 30 counts have elapsed. Increases card draw speed by 1 level once 45 counts have elapsed from the battle start. So, okay, he still has this really ramp-up stuff, but they added card draw speed. Again, same thing, but they added card draw speed. This dude's looking at, he's reminding me a lot of Trunks. Okay, I think we see what they're doing here. So, biting off more than you could chew unlocks at Adept, which is Zenkai 3. Applies the following effects itself when 2 allies are defeated. Plus 30% of damage inflicted, minus 5 to blast arts cost. Oh, they're doing more last man stand units with cancelable buffs. Everything he's doing is cancelable. He's going to be really good late game, especially as a last man. He's going to do a lot of damage, but everything's cancelable, man. I hate that so much. The following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Draws a blast card next. Okay. Doesn't have, like, he just automatically always draws a blast card. Plus 15% to blast damage inflicted for 15 counts. Inflicts all enemies after downgrade, plus 15% to damage received. So this is the Zenkai 6 unique. The only downside with this is he doesn't pick up Ki. He almost needs to be ran with purple Blue Vegeta that just came out recently, right? The Future Saga Blue Vegeta. For the Ki on Switch. Or like somebody like Zenkai Goku. Like any unit that can switch out and give him Ki. Like if you pair him with Zenkai Goku, you almost have a facsimile of like the SS4 full power Goku that came out, obviously, where he enters the battlefield, gets Ki, and actually draws a blast card, right? You have something akin to that. But if you're not doing that, he's just drawing a blast card, and if you're at a Ki deficit, this is not very good for you. And also, I always say this, but I think it's very important to get across that too many blast cards is not a good thing to have. You want to have a couple, but you also still want to have a balance of strike cards, and he's going to be doing something similar to SS4, where it's just going to be a bunch of blast cards in your hand most of the time, especially because he holds 2. Okay, special move, plus 35% of blast arts power. That's actually really good. Plus 15% of blast damage inflicted and changes strike arts cost. To blast arts. 15 Ki, this is not bad either. Zenkai ability is for purple Saiyans, as I said earlier. 40% to blast and strike attack. Ooh, double attack, 40%. Not bad. Okay, so I'm going to be completely honest, man. He's not particularly impressive, and he reminds me a lot of Trunks. This is, I guess, what they're going to do. They have reduced the cost of Zenkais, but at the cost of seemingly making these Zenkai units, for the most part, little less impressive. Now, to be fair, some of the older Zenkais were not that impressive. I always say this, but Red Goku is not that good. There are a lot of units that are non-Zenkai that are better than him. But just like Red Goku, this dude's going to be relevant for having one of the best Zenkai abilities and bench spots in the game. He will always be good whenever there's a new Purple Saiyan as a unit that sits on the bench, similar to Red Goku, right? Red Goku's best on the bench, like supporting dudes like SS4 Red or Vegeta or like Bardock, for example. Like this dude's going to be in the same exact role. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are excited for this dude. I mean, it's still cool to see him get a buff nonetheless. And again, he is going to be good as a last man. He is. It's just, I get why they let the last man's buffs be cancelable, but there has to be some give and take, because when you have a unit that you have to rely on them to be the last dude standing, and if they are in that scenario and you have so many units in the meta now that can cancel those buffs, the unit is worthless. I guess it's ultra high risk. High reward if you can get it to work, right? So I get why they do it, but it's dumb to me, right? But I don't know. That's it. Thank you all for tuning in. Have an awesome day. I'll see all of you in the next one. Peace.